Hey YouTube, it's Mizuki, back with another video. And in today's video, I'll be discussing the latest news of Reaper 2 and basically everything you need to know about Reaper 3 and what's going to happen. Now, many of you guys have a lot of questions. A lot of questions have been answered on the Discord, but just to clarify some things, and since I've talked with the devs, the owners, the mods, I more or less know like officially what's actually going to happen. Obviously, some things about the new release of Reaper 2 are a little bit icky. For example, data transfer. That's kind of weird because it depends on the game. But aside from that, I have created kind of a Q&A of the things most of you guys have talked about and want to know about. And I'm going to be going over that today and just answering some of the questions, I guess. So without further ado, let's dive right into it. Alright, first things first, to start off with the basics. These are some of the questions that have basically been answered on the Discord, but some people didn't get that, so I just want to go over it real quick. When's the game going to drop? Well, the release date of Reaper 3 is kind of an iffy topic. Obviously, most likely they're gonna post in 3 months, or that's what they said. So 3 months from August is November. And the reason why it's so short is because they're not going to be doing any major changes, which we'll get into later. But they will be sharpening some things. They will be adding some moves and whatnot. But in general, it's nothing really that major, or it's not like they're creating a whole new game. Obviously, they said that currently the game is not being rushed. So 3 to 4 months, if not more. Yeah, so around that time. Now the second question is whether or not the data will be transferred. Now this one's an iffy topic because it's kind of a yes and no. And the reason why I say yes is because, well, most likely it's going to be a yes, because they said that unless the game somehow acts up, chances are they will be transferring your data. But if it does not happen, just let's say, God forbid, it doesn't happen, what they're going to do is, for the more advanced players who have more experience in the game from like a certain level, they'll be giving them perks and other cool bonus features that, just to kind of make up for the loss of data. Now, the third one is, will Reaper 2 remain as a game? And yes, it will remain as a game. As a matter of fact, the previous owner of Reaper 2 passed down his work to one of the developers. The new owner's name is The Boss. Obviously, what he'll be doing is, if you guys have any questions, he'll be answering them. Maybe some like minor things, but the Reaper 2 will most likely not be updated. All the updating will probably go over to Reaper 3. But yeah, the owner is The Boss, so any complaints y'all have, go to him. Anyways, moving on to the more advanced and better questions, let's just say that. And again, while the fact remains that I did read the game news and whatnot, and I read this whole section, but there's still some questions that I had that also a lot of you guys out there also had. And some of these questions were apparently answered in here, but I don't know. I don't think they were. Anyways, the first question I got was, Reaper 3 change the map in any way, or will it stay the same? And the answer to that question was no, it will not. As I said previously, the reason why it's going to take only 3 months is because they're simply going to be kind of upgrading and making certain things more crisp than they already are. There's going to be no major changes. There's going to be no new like movement or like fighting system. It's basically just in a way like a mini revamp. And the reason for that is, if you guys missed out on it, the backstory is that one of the game developers, I believe, or game admins, he left without any notice, and they were kind of panicking and searching for new people. So once the staff found new staff, they're like making codes and sending them certain stuff, and that the code system kind of got messed up. So with the code system messed up, they wanted to kind of restart the whole process and obviously make a Reaper 3, because, as the owner said, Reaper 2 has kind of been falling off from time to time. So that's that. So there will be no major changes, no map changes, just most likely crispier graphics and just like better movement, I guess. Just no new systems. And the second question was, will there be any new changes in the combat or movement, or will it just be polishing the current system? And again, it's just going to be polishing the current system. Obviously, Asuna said that other than that, maybe adding a couple new things to it. That's what he said about Reaper 3. But they're not going to be like any major changes. just like miniature things. Aside from that, those are the main questions that a lot of you guys had. This is just a clear up video. Reaper 2 is basically a polished version of, or I mean Reaper 3 is a bit polished version of Reaper 2. If y'all got any questions, make sure to DM these guys, especially Ruby. She's just a W in my opinion, one of the best staff in the game. I'm not saying like Flutter DMs, but like definitely use the questions section and just ask these moderators. Feel free to do that. If you guys have any other questions, I mean, you guys could say them in the comments. I'll probably have an answer to them too, because I more or less know what's going on here after these little conversations I had. But aside from that, I hope this video helped. Now, like, sub, all the proper things, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao.